It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a flying canine, it's a WolfHawk. It's a swooping, snarling, no use hollering WolfHawk. In the burning sun, even outlaws run when they hear that screeching howl. WolfHawk.
Welcome to WolfHawk Comedy Podcast.
I'm Elliot Broder.
I'm Lizzy Wolfson.
And I'm Mac Hawkburns.
And we are here in beautiful Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado.
We're feeling it. We're
Gonna be a
feeling the
Hawkburns
sun.
heavy set. I've just done decided now.
Oh, you're going to do all Hawkburns?
God, I wish.
That would be a long Hawkburns.
Long for you, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. We have to get you drunk so that you can do Hawkburns for an hour.
Sustain the Hawk.
Break your sobriety after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
Over 5.
Over 5
Actually,
years.
I've been meaning to say this, just so it's on the record. If any alcohol beverage company wants to sponsor our podcast, I would consider breaking my sobriety for enough money.
I don't. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, listen.
Not in like I'm not, not in like I'm gonna go off the rails and get blacked out or whatever, but like I'll drink.
But like taking a sip.
Yeah, I'll drink. Well,
A lot of alcohol companies have zero.
I'm not saying that I will do it. I'm just saying I would consider it. Depending upon
Yeah.
sponsorship package.
Here at this
If you pay enough, I'll drink a full beer.
Here at this alcohol company, we support people not being sober anymore.
Yeah, I mean, one more customer.
We support unhealthy
No, not really. It has to be
choices.
free.
It has to be free. If it's free, it doesn't really count, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
no, it does count. Okay.
Because I did that for a while as a comic, but you could still get it.
Yeah, no,
pretty
you can still
drunk.
get really drunk.
A lot of shows still will just be like, yeah, as much as you want.
As much as you want.
Like a brewery, they make it. So
I did
it's
a
no
whiskey
cost to them.
place the other day. It was all whiskey. It was
Oh, you
delicious.
drink all their whiskey?
Yeah, dude. It was delicious and it was free. They were so sweet. I loved it. All right. Let's bring on our guest. Our guest is actually visiting us from Colorado Springs, all the way from
All the way
Colorado.
from regular.
Over at Loonees Comedy
Loonees
Corner.
Comedy Corner.
And he also has a podcast,
The co-host of the BEANIE BOYS podcast.
co-host of the BEANIE Boys
Welcome
podcast.
to the pod.
Cameron
Cameron
McKenzie.
McKenzie. We have
Thank
similar facial hair happening.
We do.
That's
like the
cute.
mustache that is growing back out.
Yeah. I'm Hike Mockburns.
Oh, there you go.
That was
I
really
love
hard to
that.
do. I don't
You're
know
like
why
me
that
if
was
I had cut my own hair,
Yeah. If you couldn't decide between a bowl cut and a mullet, you just did both.
Did you pay for that haircut?
No.
Okay.
I haven't paid for a haircut in 15 years.
Really?
Yeah. I
Who
either
does
just-
it, Mom?
Me.
You.
Always.
Woo.
I either buzz it
Pre-COVID.
or grow it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
My
I love
mom
that.
used to cut my hair growing up, and every once in a while she'll still cut my hair or like trim it up.
I
I don't
know that.
remember. We always went to fucking sport clips, and I
Bad
had the
haircuts.
worst haircuts all of high school, like Caesar cuts. And
Oh, so you have trauma.
yeah.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay, that's
I
why
had
you
pay
do
for
that.
Started leaning into
It's
it.
because you
At
don't
least I'm
want
not
some-
paying
I
for
looked dumb
this.
on my own accord. Yeah, this was a choice.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
stand out in Denver though. In the springs, people are like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
In
know.
Denver, it's
I'm
just pretty
just
regular,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I cut my hair during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and I was pretty high because I was smoking a lot of weed because, I had a
It was
bunch because I
COVID.
grow it, yeah. And I was just like, I didn't know what was happening with work. Like I knew I was going to work again at some point, and I was like, well, I should cut my hair, and I was super high. And I remember I combed it down. I was like, I'll start with the bangs, and then I combed it down, and it fully covered my eyes, and I was like, that's fine. I started going, and then like I could see out of one eye, and then I was like, and I just started laughing so hard. I was like, man, there's no way this is gonna be good.
No.
It
But
gets
I still,
scary.
yeah, and
Yeah.
thank God my girlfriend could kind of fix it a little bit, so
Oh
I didn't
my
look
God.
really bad.
I have 2 sisters, so I always call them before I do anything with my hair.
Really? And
yeah,
what do they
like just
say?
in case they're. My sister this time just said, "Fuck it, go for it."
Oh, really?
But she
Okay.
didn't really know what I was going for. And then
Cool.
I sent her a picture, and she said, "You look like Martin Luther from like Lutheranism."
Oh,
I was like,
right,
Lutheranism.
yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah.
like a Quaker,
Yeah.
Yes.
like
You know-
the oats guy.
Yeah, like berries and cream boy.
You know what I love about this conversation is that you guys are talking about something that like is it doesn't actually really save you that much money.
No.
Like you could just go get a haircut for like $40,
But my hair
and it could
never
look
looks,
really good.
It only looks
Dude,
good for that day, and then after that, I'm left to my
Well,
own devices, and my hair does its own thing.
It's
and
even
bad
worse for
again.
me because
Well,
like
don't
I
go
know
to
a dude.
Supercuts.
I know
Cameron?
a dude who will cut my hair for
my
like
budget.
usually pretty cheap too. That's the best part. Like
Yeah, you could like
Go
there's
down to the cutting
people.
corral.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy that'll cut my hair and he'll like do a weed trade and or do it for very cheap.
People that get their like women that get their hair cut or done in general, right? Like they'll do all the different. It'll be
Yeah,
like a
but just-
few $100.
Just because it like men's hair, just because it's cheaper doesn't mean I want to pay for it.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's like not.
I don't even know what it is anymore. I think, well, I have such bad social anxiety. It's probably sitting in the chair, either having to make conversation or going, this is what I want.
Okay.
And then they do it. So I just buzz it, and then I'll get it professionally dyed and stuff.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
I used to dye my hair crazy, but now I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
But
And that also
that's
takes a long
expensive.
time. So it's like being left to your own devices easily. You forget about it. Now it's dyed too much.
And then I
or
got
it's
that
gonna
purple
fall
shampoo
out.
game I'm doing all the time.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah. No. That's tough. I will say, as somebody who also has trauma from getting their hair cut. So when I was
Curly,
going
wavy
into
haired folk.
when I was going to kindergarten, my mom, it was the early 90s, and my mom was like, oh, you should go get your hair cut. And I guess I decided, yes, that's a great idea at some point. It was my decision. I never thought it wasn't my decision. There was never force. But I got one of those 90s little girl cuts that is just a little boy's cut.
Yes.
And so I had curly hair and then super short, little fro, and I like had a nervous breakdown.
Those
To
are
the
tough
point
times.
where my mom, the way she fixed it, because you can't get my hair to grow again, right? I mean, I look like a little boy. Now I realize a lot of girls had to go through that. There's a lot of girls that have your haircut now
Yeah.
when they were in first grade.
So wait, how did she fix it?
She cut her own hair off.
Oh,
Oh.
to match?
Yeah, she had
That's
like
very
super
sweet.
long hair that was like
wow.
down to here, and that was her look.
That's pretty
She
cute.
loves you.
And then and she
And
chopped it all down.
And then she use your.
And then and then she made a
Made a
wig,
wig.
and I wore a wig
Yeah.
for
that's
3 years.
That's what Mike Hawkburns
Yeah.
did. Yep.
yeah,
I know.
Mike Hawkburns.
I still have it.
Yeah, so Mike Hawkburns. If you don't, yes, my mother loves me. You're right. You guys are
yeah.
also right. And
Not as much as I love Mike Hawkburns.
No,
Yeah.
I get that.
Elliot had very long hair at one point, cut it off, and then taped it into a cowboy
Okay,
hat.
no, it was a little.
So that when
Oh,
Mike
like that was-
Hawkburns
it was
Oh.
okay.
would go
wait
on
a
stage,
minute.
he would have long hair, and it was his own hair taped into a cowboy hat.
Let's rewind a
even
little
more
bit.
of
You
a-
say taped.
that's
There was a
better.
lot more to it than that. Okay, I put a lot of like thought and effort.
Sure.
The
There was
issue was
more than
that-
one instrument used.
The
Yeah.
issue was that the hair kept falling out.
I glued it with fabric glue and then I sewed it and then I had this really long piece of fabric, which was that was the creepy part. Honestly, was when I had
Wow.
fabric that I like folded it over and sewed
The
it. and glued
problem
it.
I
with
love
the
that.
hat was that it kept falling
It shed,
out.
yeah, it shedded a lot. Turns out making wigs is pretty hard.
It's
So
a
he
tough
just bought a
game.
wig.
Yeah, it's
That's why there's
Even
a
if
whole
you're-
store in the mall.
even
for
if you're
it.
good at sewing and have a lot of like pretty expensive fabric glue.
And using real hair.
Yeah.
That's
It was a whole
choice.
process too, because my mom.
I love that.
my mom was cutting my hair, right? And so I was like, Mom, like as you cut it, you could just hand it to me, and then I had like this fabric and glue situation laid out. So as she was cutting it, I was like lining
Yeah.
it up.
Can you imagine being a mother who's cutting your 30-year-old son's hair,
No,
which
no,
is
I
fine,
was not that old at this point. But
and
also,
then
she was
also,
just
can you
happy
hand it to
didn't
me?
have
I need to
long
make my
hair
own
anymore.
wig.
Yeah.
She was just happy
That's
I
a
didn't
proud
have long
mom.
hair anymore.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
what she was saying.
Oh, I had such
Probably.
beautiful long hair at one point. It was down
Yeah?
to my nipples. It was like wavy and
Wow.
gorgeous.
Would you wear it with your shirt off so it covered your nipples?
I did sometimes.
How
Like,
long
yeah.
did you have to grow it to get it that long?
It was about 2 years.
Okay.
Like it was a good chunk, but my hair grows fast and it's
Yeah.
thick. And then everyone loved it, and I was getting a lot of attention for it. So I cut it all off and bleached
Oh.
it white, like this short.
You're like a girl.
Yeah.
You're like, I
And
have
then
to
you had
change
frosted
this.
I was like, no,
tips
this
when
is
it grew
weird.
out- when it
Yeah.
grew out?
Yeah, I really enjoyed having frosted tips because I didn't have that in the 90s. Like
Frosted
I
tips
missed
is
out. My parents were like, "You're not doing that." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Fuck you!" And then now,
You're like,
I'm
I'm
like-
35. I can do whatever I want.
yeah, now I just look dumb every day. And I love it. I love it.
I will say, as far as that was my trauma for my haircut. I really was bad about getting my haircut. Like I would do it, but I would wait. I'd wait to go. Like I lived
I'm
in
kinda trying to
Colorado.
grow
I go
mine
to
back
New
out.
York to get it done
Oh sure.
because my parents live there and stuff. And I never really found somebody until one day I'm at a bar in Colorado and we're playing pool with some friends. And this guy comes up to me and he's like, who's on like the pool team that we're watching. It was a friend's boyfriend that was playing. He's on the team and he goes, man, you have really beautiful hair. And I was like, okay, idiot.
Shut up.
Yeah, you know, because obviously I get compliments about my hair all the time and it's just weird compliments. Like people are just weird about it. And so he's like, yeah, I actually cut hair. Like I specialize in curly hair. And I was like, okay, shirt, you know? You should come by. I have this little studio. It's called Ben's Studio. It's over here in Fort Collins.
And he's like, I'm Ben.
Yeah, I'm Ben. It's in my house. It's in the basement. It's a walkout basement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, man. But I really needed a haircut
I've
at the time.
heard that one before.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I've been steered
You go
wrong
down
thrice.
first.
I am about to get my hair put into another hat, sewed into a hat.
Yeah.
So I went over to his place. It's super cute. He's great. I kind of tell him what I want. Again,
Well
very
lit.
conservative about my
Well lit,
hair.
yes.
Like, I don't want it to get crazy.
No one's hiding in there.
He's incredible. Amazing price.
Wow.
I've been going to him for over 10 years.
Oh, shout out Ben.
Dude, Ben's
Wow.
Studio is my favorite
ending.
place in Fort Collins. It's my favorite place. That nobody will ever cut my hair as well as Ben.
Yeah.
I've already decided that.
got
I
curly
literally
hair.
just went up to see him on Monday.
Oh, I love that.
I-
I love that you're still so loyal to the soil.
Yeah, I drive
That's
up
sick,
there.
Ben
I
for the win.
and he's
Yeah.
like, "You really want to drive
Ben,
up here
more
from
like
Denver?"
Am.
And yeah, I do, dude. If it's a good haircut, it's a good haircut. You know.
It means a lot,
And he
especially
takes-
with someone with curly hair. My sisters they are like, fuck everyone.
We're
except this
also
one
in
guy.
front of a camera, and
Yeah.
we're in front of like we're in front of cameras right now. We're in front of them when
know.
we're on stage. It's stressful.
To think
It is
that
very
you could
stressful.
just be like me and just never.
Yeah.
Never.
You have
cut
good
your
hair. Like you have a
Thank
good
you.
head of hair. Like,
I
it
actually am
looks
thinking
good.
about growing it back out because
You
I
have
just,
this
I like
like
to have
early
long hair.
2000s indie musician, like, oh, I'm just like doing stuff all
It's
the
like
time.
almost
I don't have
Beatles.
time. Yeah.
No, it's
Bieber
not
era.
doing stuff. It's not doing anything.
Exactly. But the giving the appearance that you're always doing something
Yeah.
that takes up the time you would put into your hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. He's busy.
Yeah,
He's a
elegantly
busy boy.
disheveled.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
It's a good look.
Yeah. It's a good look.
Thanks.
You,
Yeah.
Did you want to show them your hat?
Yeah, this was a gift from our guest. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a nice like a hawk.
Oh yeah, we could do like a
like a
hawk
wolf.
patch,
Very good.
maybe,
God, it'd be
and put
cool.
it on
I
there.
feel like you can't airbrush on black, but that would be even better.
Yeah.
Airbrush it.
you would have to find
Take it to
somebody
those
who
guys at
air-
the mall. You guys don't have the malls
Be like,
I do in
can
the
I do a
Springs, man.
golden border? You know.
Yeah, I was gonna put like a fake war I fought in on it.
Yeah.
Dude, I have I used to have a hat very similar to this that had the NRA. It was like
Oh, I love that.
the NRA logo, and I used
That's
to
cool.
I used to
out
wear
Benz.
it. A lot of times when I lived in Memphis, I would rock it because
People would be nicer to you.
well, they just think you have a gun.
Yeah.
Why
Oh,
else
okay.
would you wear
So
the
then
hat?
they are nicer to you.
So,
They
yeah.
are nicer to you.
I would be.
They are nicer to you. And I also got a gift too. I got a hat. I'm not gonna mess with my hair though because I have a show after this.
Here, I can model it for the.
Oh yeah, can
we
you
go.
model it for the
Hell
for
yeah,
the
hell
group?
yeah, hell yeah.
But
The
I
guy that
got
doesn't care about
these
his hair.
very cool horse.
Is this your head size? This is really small.
No,
It's
I
my
haven't put
head
it on
size.
yet.
I have a very itty bitty boy
Is it
head.
a child's hat?
Child's hat for a child-sized boy. No, I bought it at a gas station in Denver because I was like getting
This is pretty
oil,
sick.
and I was
It's
like, "This is sick."
It's like a subtle like black on black camo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's a black hat with embroidered horses on it, which is perfect
Get
for me.
that?
I could wear that fishing. We went fishing the other day.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
grew
went
up
up to
fishing. I love
Seaman
fishing.
Reservoir. Yeah, so we usually
Seaman Reservoir.
yeah up in Fort Collins. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I heard about. I used to live in Fort Collins. I remember.
Do you know
this.
about Seaman? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Seaman Reservoir in the Poudre River, in the Poudre River Canyon. In the Poudre.
You guys caught fish? You got them in your hands?
I caught two. He caught two.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, we tied.
Even.
We tied. Yeah, and then I
A match to the death.
Not that
later.
it was a contest.
he
but I thought
dropped
it was.
one, and I was gonna take a picture with it, and so I picked it up, but I didn't want it to have dirt all over it, so I put it in the water to rinse it
Oh,
off,
yeah.
and it swam
Really
away.
missed
It
the
fooled you.
photo.
It was like, yeah, wash me off. It's
Oh yeah,
fine.
I gotta get washed off. I wouldn't have want to have rocks
Oh no,
on
you're
me.
taking a picture of me right now.
Yeah.
Let me-
Yeah.
Wash me off.
Yeah.
So you said you grew up fishing. We usually talk about the outdoors, so that came
Yeah.
up. That came up.
I grew up an outdoorsy kid. Before I lived in Colorado. I was in Southern Virginia, and I was a little hick, and it was
Really?
so fun. I had all my friends
Can we
were,
still
like,
say
hunting,
that?
fishing. I think I can.
Yeah,
Okay.
He can say it.
Can
I
you
can
say
say-
that?
We can say
We
it.
can say
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If
I'm from
you're
New
in
York.
the-
I can't say hit.
I lived in a southern state where it was the last Confederate capital was the city I lived in. So
Really?
they were
Which
in
where
it.
is that? That's in
Danville, Virginia.
Virginia.
Danville, but it's
How long
Danville.
did you live there?
2 years. I'm Canadian, so my family just kept moving around. So we were just
Okay,
that-
so Canada first.
Canada-
Yeah, wait, how does the Canadian have to do with the moving around? Because you guys were
Well,
were
I guess
illegals?
there's
Is that
more
what you're telling
sentences.
me?
Yeah,
I
that's what-
probably am. I'm a pre 9/11 baby, so like they were probably like, "Have fun, dude. Just
Yeah.
enjoy the
Oh, yeah,
states."
they didn't they didn't care.
the
They're
northern
like-
border?
They're like, oh,
I-
you're just right up there.
I was born in Canada, and then my family moved to Detroit, and then we moved to Texas, like 7-8 years later, and then Virginia, and then I lived in Colorado. And then I went to school out here.
Okay.
Like high school and college.
Okay. All right. So formative years.
Was like Virginia and
bouncing
here.
around.
Childhood was Michigan.
Okay. Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
And
it was
so-
like very outdoors based. I was outside.
So were you fishing that whole time? You got to fish in all those places?
I fished a lot in Texas because I've made friends with like cowboy kids.
Yeah.
Like my
Yes.
best friend's name was Latham. and
Latham?
Latham, which
What's
is a
that?
great
With
Texan
a Y,
name.
probably?
What does it mean?
Latham. It's probably derivative from some Scottish name, which means like
Okay.
Lord of the Lake, but he's
Yeah.
definitely not that.
He's not a lord.
No, one time I was at his house and we were having a sleepover and I was watching a movie and he fell asleep and a cockroach crawled in his mouth and then crawled out of his mouth while he was sleeping and I didn't tell him that. So Latham. Now you know.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, but like
You didn't tell him?
No, I was horrified. I watched
okay.
this giant cockroach crawl across his body like a mouse hunt sized
Yeah.
cockroach that the married,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it fucking went in
Texas.
and then went out. Yeah, Texas really. But he
Oh,
had
buddy.
land,
Mess
and we
around down
fished
there.
on like his land.
When it went in, did you go, it's not coming back out? Then it came out. You went, oh, I don't
Yeah.
have to ever say this.
I thought it was like he was going to become part cockroach and like
Oh.
and just become
like
a
in,
roach.
like in Men in Black.
Yes.
Yeah,
Men
that
in
mixed
Black.
with the fly. Just very
Yeah.
goopy stuff. But
Oh,
then I woke up and we
God.
went fishing a lot on his like land because they had like a lake and
That's great. And maybe
yeah.
you
Like
wouldn't
stuff.
have gone fishing as much if you told him about the cockroach.
sure he probably wouldn't have been like, why didn't you wake me up or like get it?
Yeah, but it would have been bad if you woke him up. He would have choked on the cockroach if
Yeah.
you woke him up. So
Or
maybe
like-
better to not.
Yeah,
Ooh.
or tasted it.
Ooh,
Or
tasted
there's
it.
no way
Blech.
you would have believed him if you were just like smacking him.
Yeah, yeah.
And
then I'm just that
and he
weird
wakes
9-year-old just hitting my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh,
Hey,
great.
No, I
man, what are you
understand.
Pam's
doing?
got issues.
I swear there was a bug.
Yeah.
I swear a giant cockroach crawled in her mouth and
Fight,
crawled out.
flight, freeze. You went freeze. That makes sense.
Yeah,
It
and
sounds
then-
correct.
And then crazy visualization.
Cockroach freezes.
Yeah, La
I think-
Cucaracha.
yeah.
We were down there, so
Yeah.
it was wild.
So outdoors, as far as like growing up and stuff like that.
Just freelance, or were you like scouts based, or you just kind
Not Scouts based.
of just kind of whatever?
I think my dad did Scouts in Canada, maybe, but it was a little different. He kind of got.
What do they
like,
call it up there? It's like the
I don't know. It's Scouts. It's probably
Scouts.
something a
Yeah.
lot cooler.
was gonna- yeah.
Gay boys.
Gay
the
boys.
young
feel like
woodsman.
They just mainly did a lot of like hunting, fishing. Like my
Yeah.
dad did that, but I had like friends with a lot of like land and stuff with dirt bikes and like stupid
yeah.
trucks and
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah,
off-roading at
for
like
sure.
12 and like driving
Yeah, yeah.
cars around and stuff. And
Yeah.
then I never went hunting, but I always wanted to. And then we moved here and none of my friends here hunted. And I was like, oh,
I just
still
went.
because I
wanna-
play sports.
Elliot just went hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I just went on an elk hunt down.
Nice.
In
Guns or
Arizona.
bows?
Bow.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
I
dress
didn't-
up like
I
a
didn't shoot
ranger.
it.
And,
But
Yeah.
but yeah, my friend shot one.
nice.
We'll maybe have him on the pod at some point.
Yeah, Mishka could definitely come on the
That
podcast
meat
with
is
you. You
good.
guys were in Arizona, and then you shot it, and it took a week or something like that to get it.
Yeah, we were out there for like a week trying, basically.
Wow.
And we came pretty close. It's pretty hard with the bow. And
Yeah.
he has like he had a crossbow, so he has like I guess he messed up his shoulder.
Oh, at some
So
point,
they-
right,
so
right,
they
right,
let him
right.
use the
Can't cock it back.
crossbow.
Yeah, but he got
Man, that's
meat and he
cool.
got the hide,
Yeah, I still have the,
Oh,
I have
nice.
the hide at my house. So.
Hell yeah.
and he strung it up, and he.
That was like a whole process, honestly. But yeah, we spent about like the week kind of wandering around, and we came pretty close to some animals, and then finally on the last day there, he shot
That's
like
so
a big,
cool.
like
if
a
you
big
could,
bull.
Cameron, if you could pick a tag to get, like if you just like, like if you could just like if I said any tag, I'll say yes.
Yeah.
Like
What
any-
would it be?
Like any animal.
Yeah.
To shoot.
Yeah.
That's a wildly good question.
Dude, honestly, elk.
'Cause
is
I like-
pretty-
He
like-
just goes
pretty tasty.
lion. We go, oh, he's a monster. We can end the
Hey,
podcast
big game
now.
hunting is based at a conservatory ship, so they give out a certain amount of tags.
Right,
with the
right.
bull. But
Elephant.
yeah, I'd probably a moose would be very
Ooh,
cool.
moose.
Because that's scary and like that would
Big.
be like thrilling. And as a Canadian, I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be cool.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Canada, it's a lot easier. It's kind of hard, I think, to get a moose tag in Colorado, but
Yeah,
it
there's not a lot
varies.
out here.
No, I think the
You just have
guys.
to- they give them
Is
out.
it a
but-
lottery for the
Yeah,
moose?
and I think like there's like a whole system with preference points and shit. But
Yeah.
I know somebody who got one, and it was like an over the counter, like somebody canceled or something, and it just like came.
Oh, and they got it.
And he just was like
Lucky
happened
dog.
to show up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this just came available," and he's like, "All right, yeah, I'll pay for it right now."
Yeah.
He had enough, but you
That's
have
our
to have some
biggest
preference
thing.
points and stuff.
That's like our biggest mammal in North America. Like that'd be
Right.
a
Yeah.
wild one to.
We have, and I think we have like our population of moose is growing pretty fast in Colorado, so I think they might give
Nice.
out. But now
That would be crazy.
The wolves, you know.
Shout out the wolves. I'm pro wolf. I dig it.
Yeah.
Well, eventually you'll be able to hunt those.
Whoa.
Jesus.
That's
This is
part
like
of the law.
Cabela's
Oh my
Dangerous
God.
Hunts 2.
Well, just like whenever they get.
Do you know the name of our podcast? We're just gonna go out there and talk about killing wolves.
Listen, I'm
now?
not saying that I'm for it. I'm just saying, like, read the law. That's what was in the bill, that they're going to set up a tag system for the
Hey,
wolves.
some Beanie Boys have gone down in the
Dude,
central,
yeah?
Eventually.
People in beanies have been killed, I'm sure.
Oh man.
We've been hunted in the streets.
Yeah, I think what I like about about moose, the idea of a moose, is also that it's like kind of like a one and done kind of deal. You're like, I
Yeah.
spent a ton of
Insane.
money
I mean-
on this,
I don't think I'd ever hunt again.
taxidermy it, bring it back, get the head.
Mount the moose?
It's
Dude,
cool
after-
story. It's
after doing this
expensive as
elk-
shit.
Yeah.
You
and
know
that
what I
meat
mean?
is cool.
Yeah.
After doing this elk, I can't even imagine, dude. That would be so much work to get a moose out.
You-
It's
Yeah,
like taking a truck out of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
That's
is
what I'm
probably
saying.
a
It's like a
little easy.
one and done. It's like I had the experience
Mhm.
and I got it and I did
Yeah.
the thing and I spent way too much money. But
It'd be like a lot of work just to get the hide off of it. I bet that would-
It's like
just
a
the skin
long
would be
time.
heavy.
Yeah. And that's I think that'd be the coolest
You have to
part. 'cause
carry
you're
the
out there
head.
forever. Yeah, you got the antlers on you too. You're
no,
looking like
no,
a-
you get
We
the whole
were-
head
dude,
because you have to
yeah.
taxidermy it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? It's not. You're not just bringing
Or
the
at
antlers
least
out.
do the European mount. I think that's what Mishka's gonna do with the one that he shot.
What? What's the European mount?
That's just where like
Just the butt.
the skull.
Just the butt.
Just the butt.
Who carried the butt out?
I guess I
Rump.
got
Yeah.
one hind quarter.
One hind quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
But no, the European mount is when you just have the skull. Like you leave the antlers on and you just get it to like
And
white
you go
cool.
skull. Okay.
bone, which it's not too hard to do like on your own. If you have a big pot, you can like just like, or you can.
Everybody has a big pot.
We all have
Elliot.
those big
We always
pots.
have big pots.
I was just thinking
Anybody
the other
could do
day.
that.
The old-
Like, where
got
do you
the
get
moose
an oil
pot.
drum? Like, where do you get one besides a junkyard?
You know where you
dumpster.
get it. Oh,
What'd
yeah,
you say?
you could do that.
A dumpster.
Oh, oh, true. Yeah.
Well, actually, you can also buy them on Facebook Marketplace because
Oh,
especially
naturally.
around over here, there's a lot of these like warehouses, and they'll just sell them to you.
Might
Nice.
have had weird shit in them.
Sure.
but
I'm-
sometimes-
a clean one would be
No,
crazy.
they'll clean them out. They'll clean them out because sometimes like I bought some that
Clean
were
'em
like
out. That's like, I'm sure that's what they say to sell it. They're like, yeah, we
Yeah.
sprayed it with a hose.
Like, is
Yeah.
there still evidence on it? is
it
what
had
I'd like to
like
know.
fruit gummies or something like that. It like didn't even
Oh,
smell
weird.
bad or anything like that.
It's
It was
just from
like,
the
pretty
Welch's
clean.
factory
I think it was
or
like
something?
$10.
syrup.
That's
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, which
From
I don't know if
Canada.
you would spend that money on it because you don't want to spend 10 on a haircut. So
But it's
Haircuts
10,
are- okay,
It's
10 is-
every couple months I gotta spend
10
that $10.
Also-
Oil drums one time.
10 would be a very cheap haircut. They're gonna.
That's what I
leave-
used to pay for. It used to be like $10, and then when it got more than that, I was like, "What are we doing out here? Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all have it.
Even
why
like-
are we
yeah.
charging
I got
so much?"
scissors.
I feel like
Yeah.
even if you go to like the school where they're teaching them to cut hair, it's like $10. You
But then
know?
you're there. I used to go there because it was cheap,
Yeah,
but then it
it's-
was 3 hours.
They're so
and
slow,
then they
yeah.
would give me a bad haircut.
Yeah,
and I'm
no,
like,
that
this
sucks.
is
That
awful.
Oh,
sucks.
dude, I did the free haircut thing at the thing, and they're like, "We're doing skin fades today." That's like what we're getting
What's a
tested on.
skin fade?
It's like
like what yours
it's,
is
I
like
guess
a
like
side.
with my beard going
Oh, I
like
have
from
that.
the opposite. Yeah,
I have that.
But
Yeah.
they were like, you know, all the way,
Tough.
like it's like a military haircut, like all the
Yeah.
way on the back, like it's gonna be shaved to skin, and then, you know,
Fresh
faded
to
up
boot
to
camp
like.
vibes.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's
well, can
boot
I just
camp
get
vibes.
not that? And they're like, no.
No,
And I was
because
like,
it's free.
And in the springs, if I get that, I am a military man. Like if I
Right,
get any
right,
normal
right.
haircut, they're like, I get asked the military discount all the time.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
not
not
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah.
They leave
Tired
me
of that
alone.
question. Yeah.
Tired of that question.
Tired. I'm give a Canadian discount and I'll be happy.
So West Virginia, then over to Colorado
Virginia.
Springs. Sorry, Virginia.
I am not a Westerner.
Southern.
Was not in Appalachia. I was in the
Southern
dirty
Virginia.
South.
Okay, dirty south to Colorado Springs, and
Yep,
did you go to college?
I went to CSU for a minute.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
Me too.
studied
Go Rams.
conservation wildlife biology stuff.
Okay.
yeah.
I wanted to protect bears, which was almost the tag I said, but I'd rather
Ooh,
not
yeah,
kill
not
them.
kill the
I
bears.
like
yeah, that
them.
would be.
But like a grizzly would be crazy.
that would be cool though.
Because
In
then
your
you
house?
die, you could die, and I'm like, whoa. Well, a moose could
Yeah.
get you too, but like
we
a
used
bear
to have
would.
grizzlies in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
that's
actually-
what I thought when I moved here. I was like 13. I was like, oh, I'm moving to a mountain state. There's
Right.
bears and
So
shit
in, like-
everywhere.
And then you went to Colorado Springs. And you're like, oh.
I'm
This
like,
is
it's the drought.
This is a true story, though. In I don't know the exact time span, but in like either the 80s or the 90s, I want to say, a hunter killed a grizzly bear in Colorado,
Oh, wow.
in the Sangre de Cristo mountain range. So
Where's
southern
that?
Colorado,
Southern? Oh, okay.
like near Sand Dune. I don't know if that's
Alamosa County-ish.
yeah, or it could have been.
That's the only
Squatch.
grizzly they've ever.
Well, wait a minute. So that's the last time that somebody saw one in Colorado, but it was a female. And when they did the necropsy, they said that
Knee crops.
necropsy.
Necropsy?
Yeah, because that's like
Autopsy.
autopsy, but for an animal. That's what
Yeah.
they call it.
Nice.
But they said that it had had babies. So potentially
So there's more.
There might be
there
other
could
grizzlies.
be a grizzly out there in the remote mountain ranges of Colorado.
I get
Whoa.
it. That'd be sick.
And
But,
then when,
you
what
know.
year was that?
I don't remember the exact decade, but like it was within the last 50 years. I can say that pretty
Okay.
confidently.
How long do grizzlies normally last?
It's like 30 years.
Oh,
30,
yeah.
40.
Well, I think
Like
it was in the
20,
80s or
30.
90s, I think, but
Okay.
I'm not. I want
So
to
we
say
might
it
have
was the
some
90s.
crosses.
Yeah, we
So
could
we might have
some.
some-
We could have
if
some
they
big
had
brown
babies.
bears. We could have some big boys walking around.
Right, adding that genetics
knows?
into it.
Yeah.
Is
Interesting.
that what brown bears are? Are they hybridized?
Well, there's a Kodiak bear, there's a grizzly bear, and those are different like species of brown bear. I think brown bear is the umbrella bear. And then you have a
Oh,
couple
and then you have all the
branches.
different
Grizzlies.
pieces
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So what do we normally have?
We have
here in
black
Colorado?
bear.
Black
And
bear is the
Chicago
most common.
bears.
Chicago
They're
bears.
fucking-
Yogi the bear.
You got the UNC Greeley Bears. They're good old teaching college.
Are they bears up there at UNC?
They are bears, yeah, it's
That's so
cute.
funny. I've never.
They have the toughest mascot, and they're the least tough school.
Yeah, I've
I
never
said it.
actually paid attention to
I
that.
said it.
Fucking losers.
Well, anytime anybody mentions UNC, I
The
go
bears.
Greeley.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, are you sure you don't mean? Well, I lived 45 minutes from Chapel Hills, like North Carolina, University of North Carolina,
Okay.
where MJ went, and I'm like, that's UNC. And then people here are like, I'm going to UNC this year. I'm like, why would you
Yeah.
fly across the country to go
That's
be a Tar
crazy.
Heel? That's
They were like, yeah.
Which
shut
is
up.
a wild mascot name. I know it's not racy,
Heel.
but
Yeah.
it
Yeah, it
is
sounds-
racy.
It does not sound good.
No,
Yeah.
it's just men,
Like if I
Rams
said
is-
it in a
men who
southern
laid
accent.
tar.
Rams is just fun, I feel like.
Yeah,
right?
Ram was cool. And Cam the Ram's a sick-ass mascot. He's got huge
yeah.
balls. They're so big.
Yeah, there's a few cams. There's not just one.
Well, the Cam when I was there.
So they have like a basketball one and a football one. Like they have.
Oh,
like,
wait, there's not
different
like
ones.
one per
There's a
year?
whole herd of cams.
Yeah, there's multiple cams.
Should we explain so people know?
Did
what
you
the fuck
not
we're
know
talking
that?
about?
No.
Yeah, yes.
That blew my mind.
This is the Fort Collins mascot.
Yeah.
Is a ram. They have a real animal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Colorado
not me.
State
Just
University.
filling in the listeners.
Yeah.
Colorado State University is Cam the Ram.
You're also Cam.
Yes, I am
Normal
Cameron
sized
the
balls.
Rammerin.
Do you know
At one
why?
point, I did not have. I had big balls like Cam the Ram. I had surgery one time.
Did you? What about horns?
Never had them. Lil horny.
Okay, all right. Horny like Cam.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Perfect.
a ram.
Do you remember?
Like a ram. I've known for that.
I'm known
Elliot-
for my ram lock horny.
Do you know why Cam was named Cam?
Because of the alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Colorado agriculture and manufacturing,
I think
marketing,
it's mechanics.
mechanics. I
Isn't
never
it
under,
mechanics?
I never knew what
this
the
is CSU lore that you guys are laying on me.
Yeah,
Yes.
CSU used to be Colorado A&M
Yeah. So that's why they named Cam.
They named
that.
Cam.
back
So
when
once-
they used to be pumpkin and dark green.
They were the
their colors.
Aggies before.
Yeah.
So then when they changed it to Cam the Ram, they changed, or when they changed it to the Rams, they named him Cam.
Cam,
So there's
in
multiple
honor
Cams,
of-
and they all live over like kind of almost like past like Mulberry, like when you're driving
Oh,
up
okay,
like,
Where the old,
towards
by the old
Wellington.
stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right to the right, there's
By
a
that
there's
disc golf course.
well, there's female sheep out there, and so they use the male.
Use.
Yep. So they
Use.
use the males to breed
Use-
them.
Oh, you pun. Sheep pun.
But it takes
Very
a really
good.
long time for them to
you
get
with an E.
those horns.
Yeah.
And so they have to keep breeding them so that they can
So they
have
get the
different
big-
cams so that they can like switch them in and out. And then also some of them are like better at basketball games and some of them better at football.
Sure.
Like one of the
They prefer
cams
indoors.
hates dogs.
Okay.
Or actually I don't know if they're still
Kind of a
alive.
I can relate.
quality. They don't like dogs.
One of them like kind of tries to attack dogs, and so they would have to bring
that's
him
why
to
they
like
don't-
basketball.
That's why they don't want you to hike with dogs in some places because the mountain goats will.
Oh, try to chase him down.
Well, they'll like try to attack them because they're similar sized. They'll
Yeah.
think they're another, and they'll like like in the wild when they fight, they try to push each other off cliffs. So
Yeah.
It's a savage way.
they'll try to push your dog off of a cliff. Apparently, it's happened.
Yeah, these are pretty domesticated boys.
Yeah.
But they do have
boys.
big old nuts for
Yep,
sure.
they got huge
and they'll bring
hunkers.
them like to the university, saying you can like take pictures with. I have a picture with one of them. You
I'm
know,
sure
for
I
one day
do,
you could
yeah.
pet
One of the
them.
balls?
I have a picture from
Yeah, I have the
behind
pictures-
of like a selfie like, look.
Yeah, I went.
Yeah.
I went to CSU and I said, "Hey, I know you guys are doing pictures with the head of the ram. Could I do the pictures with the balls?
Yeah,
that would be
I
fun."
want just the
More
balls.
important.
Do I have to pay extra?
Turn
or-
that sucker around.
Yeah.
I'll give you a fiver.
Yeah, I'm sure they love that.
I went to the zoo one time and I was taking a video because like my friend's kid was there and he couldn't really see it, and there was the elephant. I was like, oh yeah, and I'm like zooming in and the elephant's huge dick is out and just like goes right through this camera and
It's
just
like a fifth leg. They're huge.
Huge
Like the amount
penis.
of animal genitalia is wild.
huge dick, and it was like blocking out the whole shot, you know. It's like, whoa.
I've seen some wild stuff at the zoo. I
Joel
saw
Ver-
giraffes, mate, and that
You
was
guys
Really?
have a good
an
zoo down there
experience.
in the
We have a
springs,
great
don't
zoo,
you?
yeah. Especially
Wait.
for giraffes.
Wait, let him tell his story. So the giraffes
Oh, yeah.
mating.
This was at the Denver Zoo, so there was
Wait,
no
they
one
put the
around.
males and the females in together?
Yeah, they had there was like a young
Yeah, they don't
female.
have just infinite space.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
the
I
Denver
guess
one they don't
zoos
have a
don't,
lot.
huh?
Springs has a lot of room for the giraffes, but
Yeah.
this one in Denver.
Okay, don't.
He was chasing. It was a Denver giraffe, and this fits. He was chasing this young one around.
Yeah.
The young one was making noises like, "I don't want this,"
Right.
and his dick was like already out and hard.
Yeah.
And it was so long.
Yeah.
Like half the size of the neck. Like it.
Oh.
Ratio wise, it just kept going. And
Wow.
I saw him mount, and she ran, and then he came and missed. And I saw all that, and
Really?
I looked, and there was a child, and I was like, "Did you see that?" And they were like, and I was like, "Yeah, that was crazy."
Yeah.
Ask your mom what just happened. That was
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like
cool.
about that story was how you were kind of insinuating that Colorado Springs Zoo was just better than our zoo, and
It's a private funded zoo that does a lot more rehabilitation than Denver.
and that was the one part of the story I didn't like. I'm not trying to get into a zoo. My zoo can beat your zoo in a fight argument.
My
but
favorite zoo is the Detroit Zoo, though. It's a
Is that the best zoo?
in my humble opinion, I think
never-
it is very cute and fun.
I've never been to y'all's, but I have heard that the Springs Zoo is supposed to be pretty solid.
It's a
but-
hike also.
the
So
mountain-
you're
the
up
mountain-
on Cheyenne Mountain. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Really?
You can take a gondola ride up the whole thing.
Whoa.
Which I don't
It's
do on State Heights.
consistently ranked, one
Yeah.
of the top zoos. It usually does beat
But
out
people
the
shit on Denver
Zoo.
Zoo for no reason. I didn't.
It's a
I
pretty
shit on
legit-
it in comparison because, but
It's
like
a pretty legit zoo as well, but
yeah, I like it. They've
I
done a
don't
lot
like
to it.
I don't like zoos, so I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
They're kind of weird.
Yeah,
think they're
we went
weird.
to a zoo in Texas, and Lizzie would not go in the reptile area because she hates snakes. She was like, "I'm
That's
not going
fair.
in there."
Yeah,
They are. I like them when they're behind glass. I'm a big fan of
No.
looking at them.
These totally were, but she was like,
They
"I
were
don't
behind
trust
glass.
it." She was like,
I
"I don't
don't
trust
trust
the
it.
glass."
that's the thing about
I mean,
zoos.
it was like a single wide trailer, so I mean,
Oh yeah. A
Yeah.
Texas Zoo is a
I don't
different
like
animal.
driving,
it was just like a trailer.
Yeah, they're like Jim has the most animal. Let's go see.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't like even
They were-
driving by this zoo and when it's dark because it feels like Jumanji or something like, that.
the
Well,
snakes
it
are gonna
is.
come
I
I
out.
know.
Stuff happens after dark in the zoo.
Right, exactly. It like I
that Ben
feel
Stiller-
weird.
Oh no, that was a museum.
Yeah,
that was a
but
museum.
people fall in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keepers go
There's
missing.
something about zoos. Like you just said, there's
like
not that
SeaWorld, dude. Remember that kept happening at SeaWorld?
there's not that much room for the giraffes to even like separate. So if the female giraffes are in heat, it's just like, well, I don't know, your dad's probably gonna fuck you now.
Yeah.
You know, like they can't even.
Well, I think they do a little bit better job of that. They're not.
Do you think they think as much as like that's my dad or like that's just a male?
Yeah, they
giraffe?
think daddy. That's what they think. Yeah, the giraffes.
That's
No,
it.
they
All
probably
like, daddy.
Step
they
dad.
might move them around between different zoos.
They do, and some
Yeah.
zoos
They have
I
like
think-
indoor outdoor parts usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the time zoos do have like breeding programs too.
Yeah.
So they like move them around.
They've gotten better
you know.
probably because the internet and stuff, people see what's happening in every zoo now. So zoos are like, oh shit, we should
Right.
probably actually take care of these animals.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
SeaWorld got taken down.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I
don't-
used to
that's not
go
bad.
as a kid.
Yeah.
I went to SeaWorld.
Yeah, I don't
I
think-
felt weird about SeaWorld though.
can't
'cause
remember if I
even
ever
as a kid, I was like,
went.
why are they in here?
They're doing tricks.
Yeah,
it's
like
weird.
this is a whale.
Yeah, at least at a zoo, they're just like lounging.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
Yeah,
a
they
Wolverine.
kill. I mean,
okay.
honestly, like, yeah, that was one of those ones where one's like the one whale that kept killing people. It was kind of just like, I get it.
Yeah, dude.
this is what he does.
They're like, yeah,
just
somebody
does
broke
that.
in at night and it like drowned him. It's like, yeah, dude, he was probably sleeping. Like,
It's like trying to stop Ray Lewis from tackling a guy.
Yeah,
dude. He's just
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
do it.
I get it.
All right, so we went up to CSU and then you went back down to Colorado Springs. When did you start comedy?
I like 4 years ago.
Okay.
So then I was like 27. I
Okay.
had just kind of come back from living on a boat and not knowing what I was doing with my
Why
life.
were you living on a boat?
Because my friend called me and said, I have a spot on a sailboat I'm living on. It's my brother's. Come live with me. And I was like, gang-related activities. I had a crush on him. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And I lived on that boat for like 3 months. And it was, I don't know how to sail. And neither did he.
Oh,
so it was
good.
just a floating apartment for a while.
Wait a
Like, we were
second.
just-
Okay. So you lived on the boat, but
Did
it was
you
like
learn about sailing
it
at
was
all, or
tied up?
no?
we sailed once to like an island because we had other friends that knew how to sail. So we were
Okay.
like, we'll do this. And then
Yeah.
we went back. But yeah, we were docked in the water.
and just
Just
floated on
floating.
it.
Yeah. Whales would come in and out.
Whoa.
I would see otters every day. That was a trip.
Oh,
They are little fucking
otters.
cheeky fucks, and they like
I
to mess
love
with you.
that.
So, like on the dock, it was a 90-second walk to my toilet.
Yeah.
Because our toilet didn't work on the boat, so if you had to take a shit, you had to go to the wildlife center 90 seconds away. So, every morning I get up and then I'm just walking, and you just hear like some swimming, and you're like, I don't know what that is. And then they'd all jump at once, and you go, ah! And they all kind of go, and like laugh at you. And I'm like, this
They're
is
squirrels.
fun. Yeah, they're just big,
squirrels.
wet squirrels. And
Yeah. The squirrels in
Adorable.
Denver growl at my dogs.
that's so
Sometimes
cool.
they piss on my roof when they're mad at the dogs.
I love that. I really want nature to reclaim this place.
See?
That'd be so fun.
Well, I
Just
mean,
starting with squirrels.
Wait a second.
we shoot the squirrels at our house, but they're also they're non-native. So, in my defense,
Yeah.
So
garden
okay, so you're
protection.
living on a boat. You're
and then
sorry.
you started stand up right after. That's a natural.
It was like a
that's
couple years
natural
after. It was like
progression, I feel like.
right before COVID. I did so like 2019ish. I did some open mic stuff,
Right.
And then was so bad and like cried myself to sleep about it. And then the pandemic hit. I started doing comedy for my friends were in punk bands, and I would open for them while they're setting up their.
Oh, cool. Okay,
instruments.
so your microphone kind of like
Yeah.
feeling it.
So
It's
I was
just
like,
fun.
"Word!" They're like, "You're funny. Waste time for us." And I'm
Sure.
like, okay. And they were like, they all just wanted me to do stand up, but I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do punk shit. And
Yeah.
They're like, just fucking talk. So then I did. Loved it. Like doing well in punk rooms is hard.
Right.
Because they don't care. They're like, you're not singing. I don't give a shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
They're not paying attention. They're just
Yeah.
trying to, you
So
know.
I got good at like wrangling rowdy crowds and like making
Right.
them pay attention to me. And then I was like, this is what I like.
Hell yeah.
And I met
Yeah,
Thad.
I mean-
I met Thad really early.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Your
We were like,
co-host.
we were like 2 months in. Thad B and I got together and we were like, let's do some comedy shit. And
Right.
that really spurred it of like accountability. We got to do it.
I mean, I think that's incredible. I
yeah.
also think it's great that you don't have to walk to your bathroom anymore outside. There's
That was a
not
trip.
otters that are
Been there.
walking
Having
to
to
your
walk to a
bathroom.
bathroom.
Yeah, when
Ooh,
you
was
know
it an
how many
outhouse?
seconds. No, it was like a wildlife center where you check in. You could do laundry in there. You could take a shower if you paid coins. So it was
like,
like
the dock. Like
yeah, it was like
Okay,
$2.
so like a shared
You get a
bathroom.
minute and a half shower.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you take a quick.
You were just doing this because you liked the guy and also because
wanted to
you.
live on a boat. Where
it
was
was
this?
this
Pacific
free?
Coast?
Was
This
this
was
free?
in- this
Tell me you
was-
weren't paying for this.
I paid a docking fee, like rent, sort
Okay.
of, and I had like money saved up from my job I was working. So I was like, "Fuck it."
Did you work while you were living on the boat?
No. Right before I left, I
Okay.
did get a job, but then things happened, so I left. But
Okay.
God, that'd be crazy.
it was
to
in
s-
Port
sleep-
Townsend, Washington.
Oh, dope.
It's gorgeous.
Be cool to sleep
I
on a
get
boat
that.
and then have to go to work.
Right. Then have to go
Yeah.
to work. I get that. I get that part of it. And
It was funny
also-
walking into town.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm that guy on the boat. And
Right.
they're like, yeah, we know.
No vehicle.
It broke down when I got there.
Okay, so no vehicle.
Yeah.
And you're just that guy on the boat, but they're probably used to that. too,
Yeah.
Right.
There was
They're
it was
like
like
little-
a half
Boat
arts
guy.
town, half just
yeah.
degenerate
There's just
sailors.
boat guys sometimes. Some of them stay for 3 months. Some of them stay for
But life.
3 years.
There
some
was
of
a
them stay for
draft
30
dodger
years.
living next to me.
Ugh.
He'd been on that boat since he left when, like, after Jimmy Carter part. He was like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't want to go to war. I'm living on the sea. And he did.
Well,
I could see Elliot doing something like that for a little
Yeah.
while.
You give off, like,
boats are cool.
dock worker vibe. We could work on a dock
Yeah.
for years together.
Yeah, I mean, I used
and
to
not
do
know
fish.
each
I
other's
used to do
names.
fish work, so you know it's the same shit basically.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just have all the opportunities.
Used to be a trout
to-
farmer.
Yeah, but you could just fish and live on
Trout
the boat.
farming is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I ever got like won the lottery or something, that would be the ticket because it is a way cheap way to live in most cities. So
Yeah.
if it could work well with a comedy thing too. I could just get a boat.
Yeah.
I wish I'd stayed up
In
because, like, I
the
was
harbor.
30 minutes from Seattle like on a ferry ride, so I could just go do that shit.
Right.
But
And so
Exactly. Yeah, I'd do something like that. I could get one in, like somewhere cool in the West Coast. I could get a boat somewhere in like New York,
travel back and forth.
and then it'd just be like a place to crash when I'm there.
Yeah.
And then I could go out and sail around.
I have a secret
sail
goal
boot.
of getting a canal boat and moving to England and just doing the river
fun.
tours.
I've seen those people online.
Yeah.
It looks pretty sick.
I want to do that.
You have to learn how to drive a boat.
I can do that.
You just said that you couldn't.
Well, couldn't
sailing
sail.
and
Okay,
driving.
sailing's different.
Yeah,
Okay.
motorboat.
Yeah, I can
Motorboat.
drive very well, but I
Okay.
can't sail. That's
Okay.
too many ropes and big sheets. That
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
know.
whole thing.
Yeah,
That's a whole thing.
Process.
I can't tie a knot. I fucking suck.
You can learn how to tie a knot, dude. You learned how to cut your hair.
I'm
I
31. Did I really learn?
Did I really like?
I just did it. I
You just did
cut
it.
My
Yeah,
hair.
yeah. I guess you could just figure out knots.
Yeah, there was no learning.
so-
Sailing's the same way, though. I think. I mean, the consequences are higher. You die.
Yeah.
You
Not a
can't-
great swimmer,
you
so
can't
I was
die,
like, I gotta
so-
You
figure
can't
that out.
die with a bad haircut.
I mean, I guess if you're really bad at it,
I'd prefer not. I prefer
you're like
to
using
do
a
that.
straight razor for some reason.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that someone would say that like just couldn't accept that their friend killed themselves. They're like, yeah, he was probably shaving.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
probably
God.
just shaving.
I was just cutting his own hair, and it
Yeah.
went wrong.
And then he wrote a note.
Can you believe
It was
it?
a terrible accident. He was really sad all the time. And he was on major antidepressants. But
And
no.
so Colorado Springs is super fun for comedy. We both love it. We love going to Loonees and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's gotten really good too post pandemic.
And they keep you working,
less
huh?
options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can stay busy if you try. Like, you
Yeah.
just have to kind of reach out and be like, hey,
Yeah.
what's available? Like, we're-
Yeah, and you guys have brewery shows. You have other shows.
There's a lot more comedians down there than I think people would say. Like,
Right.
how many does Denver have? Like 250 or some shit? You guys got like
I don't even know.
400, 300. There's probably like
Yeah.
100
Yeah, yeah.
comedians in the Springs, maybe 150.
Because you're still
some.
only an hour
I
away
hadn't
from
really
Denver.
thought
You're
about
still
that.
getting
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
I'm
I
in
don't know.
Denver so much, like I don't mind that drive. It's like an hour and a half.
Right.
But then you're here, so like whatever.
Yeah.
And I like the
You go to
Springs just
dispensary.
'cause- yeah, I like the Springs because it's cheaper, but like I don't know. I kind of I have an affinity for it.
Sure,
It's
of
It's an
course.
okay place.
Yeah, I mean nothing against it.
It gets a bad rap, but it's because there's not much to do there,
Right.
and
It's-
everyone's a little weird.
And
It's
yeah,
the
military
smallest.
towns have like that sort
Yeah.
of.
Military church town.
Yeah, there's a sort of kind of lack of stuff to do-ness that goes with military towns.
Yeah,
where they're
it's
just
so
kind of like
spread.
there's not really a lot going on at night.
It's like Aurora up here.
Right. Exactly.
It gives off some.
But the
vibes.
Springs also seems to be like they're kind of trying to get a little hipper, develop the downtown.
Yeah, we just got like an amphitheater
Yeah.
down there, and there's some cool shows.
I
I
heard the
think fun
amphitheater
show.
people had gotten in trouble. I heard the amphitheater guys were
Yeah.
pretty fast and
Why?
loose with it.
They
What
they kind of opened either before or after. There's an apartment complex right next to it,
Right.
And they
they're
get
like, "We'll be
noise complaints
quiet."
every night, and I'm like, well, it is a concert hall.
And they're like, nobody will be able to hear it. And they're like, we
Yeah.
can hear it. And they're like,
I
well,
can hear it from the highway. I think it's just a mess.
That's
but-
why, like, the houses that are near Red Rocks are always weird to me. When you drive up to Morrison, and you see that, like, the houses probably, like, shake every night,
Yeah.
depending
But if
on
you're a
what.
music fan, I mean, just like sit on your roof.
Probably
and then
not.
I would hope they would.
I
be.
hope they are.
Yeah.
I hope
went
they
to-
are.
I've only been to
If
Red
not,
Rocks
that's a
once.
huge
It was
waste.
back when
Yeah.
you could climb behind it, and
Yeah.
I saw Rush there with my dad.
There you
I
go.
listened to Rush.
I think there's even, like, alpaca out there or something like that. There's, like, a little
farmer.
farm.
Yeah, there's a couple
Yeah.
of people that have some decent acreage. But
I
then it runs
punched
right
them.
up to
I
like a
like them.
quarry owns, like once you get a little further back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was scary because then people started like falling, and then they really shut that down back there.
Oh, yeah. And
have
also,
a
there's
funny story about
rattlesnakes up there.
alpacas.
Okay, tell me the story about alpacas, and we'll...
Perfect.
I was at a petting zoo in Virginia, and
Yeah?
there was alpacas and llamas and the same thing, and the alpacas were really sweet, and I was feeding them, and they were like nice, and this llama came over
Yeah.
and bit my hand because I had the
Really?
cone, and I punched it like out of
Oh.
reaction because I don't know, I was 12, and it bit, and I punched, and I felt its jaw like go, and then just kind of looked at me and was like, and then just moved on.
And then left?
Yeah, the handler was like, "You got a right hook," and I was like, "Yeah, he bit me." And he looked at it, he's like, "You're fine." And I was like, "I'm not. That really fucking
That
hurt."
really hurt.
Yeah, so I don't like them.
It's like that
I'll hit an
video,
animal.
with the kangaroos where the guy
Yeah,
Squares up.
squares up with
that's
the kangaroo
a
and hits
terrifying
him.
animal to square
Yeah,
up with.
yeah. I mean, I think
You
alpaca
can just
probably.
see their muscles.
Yeah.
They look like
ripped.
Mike
Yeah.
Tyson.
Yeah.
like after jail.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like I
Young
think an
Tyson.
alpaca. I know a horse can take off your finger,
Yeah,
but alpaca might
that,
be
dude.
pretty close.
it was like
to
he
it.
was like in feeding mode, so he just kind
Yeah.
of bit down and let go.
He can't see it. Yeah,
and I
down
just-
there.
I got him.
And
with
then
a-
you got him
got him with a
right
quick
hook.
one.
All right. Well,
So I've punched a llama. That's a cred.
Hell yeah.
That's what we'll say. Why didn't you tell us that at the beginning of the podcast? We could have said, no, it's good to end it on that. Right.
Yeah.
So we know
Well
for the
known.
next time.
A real
Yeah.
circle, a real
Yeah.
story arc.
Yeah.
About, I feel like
He
we
does
learned a lot
comedy.
about
He's
you.
got a podcast. He also
Would you go
punches
fishing
llama.
with us like now?
Oh yeah,
You still
100%.
know how to do it?
Yeah, I don't fly fish, but like regular fish.
Regular fish.
Ice fish?
I would love to ice fish.
Oh yeah, we'll have to
That
go in
sounds
winter.
Or
fun
we
as
can go
hell.
down to Colorado Springs and meet up with Cameron.
Or yeah, we
and
can.
Thad
we can,
maybe if you
Yeah,
want
we
to.
can hit a central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a lake kind of like monument.
Yeah.
Is a nice midway point.
That's
got,
where
it's
my
got
art
pike in
studio
there.
is.
Yeah.
That's a good
Perfect.
spot. Yeah.
Well, why
Love
don't you
mine
plug? Tell the listeners where to find you. Where are you at?
You can find me on Instagram at deckhand420, like a guy in a boat. I'm in Colorado Springs Monument. I have an art studio called Lola's Art Studio. I run with my mom. I teach art, and I run a monthly comedy show out of there called CAMEDY. Come see me at Loonees, October 19th and 20th, if this is out by then. I'll see ya.
And your podcast.
Beanie Boys. Look it up.
Look it up. Check it out.
Awesome.
Check us out.
Thanks
and
for
you
listening.
do you do your plugs?
Yeah, I'm Mike Hawkburns or Mr. Mike Hawkburns, MrMikeHawkburns. I don't know why I said that.
Why are you spelling it?
For the people who
Yeah.
are spelling impaired.
I'm at Lizzy Wolfson on Instagram, Facebook, and all the things. Also, if you want to see the videos of this is on YouTube at Lizzy Wolfson Comedy. You can see all the videos of all the fun episodes that we had, and also follow us on Patreon.
And you can see
at
videos
WolfHawk.
of us maybe all fishing together on the Patreon.
Yeah, we went
in the
fishing.
winter.
We
Hopefully
took
it's cold
some
enough.
content. So we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys.